You have the Japanese, they're cloning. The Japanese scientists, they just found a 20,000-year-old mammoth in the ice in Siberia, and they're about to clone it. That's great, because there's nothing the world needs more right now than a giant, hairy elephant. I've always said that. And first of all, you think the Japanese, of all people, would want nothing to do with prehistoric animals after what happened with Godzilla. You know what I mean? Cloning's gonna happen, let's face it. Let's face it, cloning's gonna happen. I just don't trust the people doing the cloning. First of all, you got this guy in Italy, a fertility doctor, Antonori. He's supposedly cloning babies. And, last year he helped a 72-year-old woman give birth to a baby boy. 72-year-old woman giving birth to a baby boy. Now, I don't know what makes a kid gay, but I would have to think that sucking on a 72-year-old titty would have to be a fact. We could have the nature versus nurture argument later if you want, but you got to admit it's at least plausible that if your introduction to womanhood was a crinkled up 72-year-old, there's a good chance you'll be sitting on a at some point in your future. Let's be honest. I'm not judging. I'm saying it's possible. Then, of course, you have the Japanese. They're cloning. The Japanese scientists, they just found a 20,000-year-old mammoth in the ice in Siberia, and they're about to clone it. That's great, because there's nothing the world needs more right now than a giant, hairy elephant. I've always said that. And first of all, you think the Japanese, of all people, would want nothing to do with prehistoric animals after what happened with Godzilla. You know what I mean? Other people are cloning humans, the Raelians. They're a doomsday cult. They believe all humans are clones of extraterrestrials, and that these extraterrestrials are going to come back from outer space and take us into outer space one day, which sounds insane, right? But is it any crazier than all the rest of our religions? I mean, I was raised Catholic. The Virgin Mary. We have a whole religion based on a woman who really stuck to her story. Now, I'm saying that there's a leap of faith there, too. Look at all the religions. Look at the Jews. Look at the insane things the Jews believe. The Jews believe Barbra Streisand's worth $1,000 a ticket. If that's not crazy. They believe you have to be circumcised as part of the religion. How is that consistent with the rest of the Judeo-Christian faith? God made man in his image. Except for the part. He screwed that up a little time. That we have to fix. I've been to a lot of these circumcisions. They actually invite you to go, which is great. You get to watch a circumcision, eat bagels. It's a very fun event. What do you even wear to a circumcision? I just wore a tie with the end snipped off. I'm like, well, this looks good. All the religions are insane. Look at the Islamic extremists. The Islamic extremists believe that if you kill in the name of Allah, you get 72 virgins. 72 virgins. Does that make sense to anyone? And it's an ancient religion. Maybe it was misinterpreted. Maybe it's not 72 virgins. Maybe it's a 7'2" Persian. That makes just as much sense. You get in the afterlife, there's some giant Iranian dude. Welcome. Now virgin Persian, baby. You know, the Christian right is no better. You know, the Christian extremists are just as bad as anybody else. Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell, they blame 9/11 on the gays and the lesbians and the pagans. The pagans? I always thought it was the pagans, but apparently it was all kinds of other people involved as well. They said 9/11 was evidence that God is angry with us. Really? All the evidence you need that God is angry with us is Justin Timberlake's career. You know what I mean? And now, Pat Robertson's asking his followers to pray for the retirement of Supreme Court judges. If you're gonna pray for anyone to retire, why not Ben Affleck? You know what I mean? Seriously.